Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new episode of Film Seizure. I am Jeff Arbuckle.
I'm Chuck Moore.
I'm Jason Oliver.
And we are on a quest for peace. We are on a Superman 4 quest for peace.
I'm on a quest for a better movie.
Well, just wait a week. We got one. We got a better one coming. But So by the way, we didn't mention this in the last episode. I thought I'd just go ahead and throw this in here. We are also on a quest for not spreading the Rona. This is a quarantine session. We are doing this over the Zooms. We're Zoomies right now. We are. Have all the nuclear weapons you want. Just keep your Rona away from me.
God, how much of 2020 now has been a Zoom session?
Or Skype.
Skype session.
A bunch of it. A whole bunch of it. But that's okay. I think...
Film Seizure is agile. We're what they call in the business agile.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, I'm not agile for shit. I'm a fat tub of slob.
We convert well to remote work.
Yes, we do.
We do. Synergy,
thought leadership,
corporate recognition.
Yeah, I don't know what else. I don't know where else to go. Superman 4.
Superman 4. So
good episode, guys. Cool.
Yeah,
see you next week.
You've been listening to Film Seizure.
So this movie came out. I was 10 years old. I went and saw this at the movie theater, and I remember not liking it when I was 10.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who this movie is made for. It's not made for me.
I think you just summed up Canon Films. Because I don't think they knew who they were making many of their movies for.
Well, no, they thought they were making. They specialized in nationalism.
They specialized in a lot of shit thrown against walls that they had no idea what was going to come of it, and they specialized in giving people exactly what they didn't want. A lot of the things that they made. They really honestly just did not understand the properties that they produced much of the time.
No, they did not.
And that definitely comes into glaring view when you take a property as iconic as Superman and give it to Menachem Golem and Yoram Globus.
Yeah. What's the genesis of this movie? I guess we should say Superman 3 did not perform well. Supergirl performed worse. So the Salkinds were like, we're kind of done losing this money. And I don't exactly know the full story behind Canon.
I don't think they lost money on Superman 3.
Well, but they weren't making the money that they once were.
But their opinion was we've taken this as far as we can take this. It's nobody cares anymore. It's not going to make any money if we try again. Yeah.
And so as somehow, some way, gosh, guys, I mean, this movie is bad. So Golan and Globus came along with Canon.
And they had suitcases of money.
I mean, somehow they had suitcases of money, but
they had something like $300 million to just spend on film properties and production. And boy, did they.
Yeah, so they somehow talked Warner Brothers. Now, mind you, this is after MGM was like, you guys fucking suck. We're out of here.
Mm-hmm.
They somehow convinced Warner Brothers that they can make this movie on the cheap, on the super cheap. This movie is fucking cheap.
Oh, man. Well, yeah, I mean, that's the whole story in and of itself because it was sold initially as, I think, a $30 million budget, which is already pretty low for a Superman movie, and then it ended up getting slashed down to 17.
And then they filmed some stuff that they said, well, we'll cut this movie up and we'll use this shit for a sequel. guys, this movie was poorly made to begin with. Like, could you imagine seeing another movie produced by Canon like this? Like this movie damaged, I think, Superman's reputation in general.
Oh yeah. Well, there wasn't another Superman movie for 3 decades. Is that right?
Almost 30
2 decades.
years. Yeah.
No, almost 30 years. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's
20.
Not right.
No,
20
it's
years.
like 16 years. Yeah.
About 20 years, because this was 87. Yeah. So
2006 was
almost 20 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Right.
That's about as long as a bus ride from Metropolis to the middle of America.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
Not quite, but pretty close.
Yeah.
I'd like.
So,
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm done.
All I was going to say was that, I'd like, again, to be the voice of the dissent here, but I fucking hated this movie. I want so very much to, like, argue its merits.
No,
there are no merits. I don't hate this movie, but there are no merits.
I hate it.
I
definitely hate it.
I hate Batman and Robin, but I can't hate this movie the same way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only thing I can't hate in this movie is, again, Christopher Reeve, but he doesn't seem to be having much fun.
No.
And I think, he was pretty depressed about the fact that the budget got cut on it. And that was very apparent during production that they were cutting lots of corners. And I mean, I think working with Canon Films in the mid 80s would depress almost anyone, except for Franco Zeffirelli for some reason.
Well, and except for Charles Bronson and Chuck Norris, who
were collecting paychecks, and honestly, Sylvester Stallone at some point.
Right.
So this movie is like, the production of this movie was probably like, I think a Russian man singing and fixing like a spacecraft in the middle of space, thinking he's having fun, and then getting hit by a large chunk of space debris, and then Superman doesn't come to save him.
Yeah,
he just careens off into space.
Yeah, that's what this movie is.
That was my favorite scene in the whole movie. Actually,
me too. Actually,
I really liked it. It was, you're talking about a time where the Cold War is raging, and Russians are the enemies, and it was a very humanizing moment for like the Soviet Union. You've got this guy singing in space, and all of his comrades tell him to stop singing, comrade, or something like that.
Well, they basically
they call him Comrade Sinatra, which I think is funny.
And then he says, everybody on Earth says, "Why don't you sing that in space?"
Yeah. Yep. I think that was really charming. I agree. Yep.
It actually sets this movie up. Like, when I saw that scene, I was like, maybe this isn't going to be as bad as I remember it.
And then Superman speaks Russian.
Yeah,
the first things he says in the movie are in Russian and subtitled, and I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. It's charming. That's as good as it gets, folks.
Yep. That dude really got fucked by a space chunk. Like,
yeah, he got space fucked.
Yep.
And then we got space fucked.
Yeah.
So what's going on in the world of Metropolis in 1987? What's happening? What's happening to the Daily Planet?
Oh, there's a buyout. It's getting purchased.
It got acquired, and the Warfields, is that what they're? Warfield? I don't know. Fuck them.
Yeah, I think that's right. The Warfield.
The Trumps come in and say, we want sensationalized bullshit news, because sex and catastrophe is the only thing that people read the news for.
Right.
And Lacey Warfield is Mariel Hemingway, and I'm betting Ernest was real proud of his granddaughter when he looked down from above the sky to look at this movie and said, "That's my granddaughter." where's my heaven shotgun so I can blow my brains out again?
Oh my God.
I have to kind of feel like it was a similar reaction to when Salinger saw his kid in the Captain America movie.
Captain America is way fucking better than this movie.
I agree, it is, but we're arguing on the margins there, buddy.
This Captain America is a way better movie than Superman 4.
Wait, is Reb Brown in that? I can't remember.
No, that's the 70s Captain America.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So she for some reason like immediately is like hot for Clark Kent.
Yeah,
Yep.
which I kind of like. Hey, Clark, somebody's lusting after Clark. All right.
Yeah, because
And
Lois,
Mariel Hemingway in the mid '80s is pretty sexy. Yeah,
you love those eyebrows, man.
I do.
Holy shit, you
I
have
have
an
a thing.
eyebrow fetish.
I have a thing.
Yeah, well, she she sits on top of her desk all sexy like.
Yeah.
You know.
Jeff, we can't see this, listeners, but Jeff is trying to like lounge all sexy like in his chair.
Yeah, and Clark comes in and he's like, "Oh my, okay, what's up?" And she's like, "Hey, let's go to the workout club." I think that's what happens next. And this movie's a fucking disaster zone.
There's also a thing where Ducky rescues Lex Luthor.
Don't call him that. He is Lenny. Go fuck yourself, Luthor. This is the worst character ever created, ever in any movie ever.
Man,
It's worse than anything Yahoo Serious ever was.
I made a joke. John Cryer's his character is really, really bad in this. But I made a joke while watching this to Chuck and Jeff that it would be interesting if John Cryer played Lex Luthor now, and apparently he does.
And he's way better. He's
Without
way
the
better.
Valley Girl accent. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God,
course.
he's so much better. Oh my God. Yeah, guys, this movie. You
know what? For me, I want to talk about you mentioned, Jeff, that you saw this movie as a kid in the theater and that you hated it. I saw this movie. I didn't see it in the theater, but I saw it on TV, probably around the same age, maybe a little younger than you when you first saw it. And you know what it is? It's like kids are very clued into this, especially in the 80s. They know the generic knockoff version of things, and they know that they're not cool.
Yes.
The minute you see Nuclear Man, it's like, who the fuck is this guy?
Oh, that was Mark Pillow.
Yeah. this generic like knockoff villain, right? And you know exactly what you're dealing with. Like this is not really Superman.
Here's the funny thing. I was so excited for this movie that I bought the DC Comics like adaptation of it, and the comic is better. That should never happen.
Yeah, because it had a writer. Somebody wrote it.
Yes. Well, it also
somebody said, "Well, what can I do with this?
Yeah.
I can only make it better."
Yeah. Well, and also it was all done by the regular Superman artist and stuff. So it's like this feels like a real thing, and the movie feels like the knockoff of that real thing.
Oh, wow.
It's terrible. It's because Nuclear Man comes up and it looks like he only wears like a V-shaped what do they call those bikinis that were popular back then that the women wore that were just like the V's that went down into their crotch and up their butt?
Well, I love it. I love it because we're already jumping to like one of my last notes was that I like that when he's created, he comes fully formed in costume.
Well, there's an end story that is explained to you in the movie.
Yes, it is,
and that's bad too.
It is.
Yes,
Gene Hackman is creating him. He starts cutting fabric and throws it in there and says, "This will grow."
I missed that.
This will grow with him, basically.
Oh, that's terrible. It will design, and it will design. Apparently, this. Oh my God, that's terrible.
Yeah, well, it has something to do with it. This will make him more suitable for our modest society, or something like that. Because Lenny is there. It's like, oh, why are you doing that, dude? Oh my God.
I hate this. Oh, good. That's even worse. That's even worse than just making him have a costume.
Yeah, I mean, he should have came out like the Terminator and just threw his dong at Superman. That's what this movie 100%.
His one Superman move is that he has a detachable dong.
Yeah.
That movie might have been better.
A boomerang dong.
There's also apparently this movie was supposed to be 45 minutes longer too.
Yeah.
There was a much longer cut of this movie where that was the second version of Nuclear Man.
The first one, yes.
I was going to say that shows because there are moments in this movie where Superman knows shit and you're like, well, they cut out 20 minutes of this movie because there has to be a scene.
Double it. It was like 45 minutes.
Well, but here's the thing though. Some of that 45 minutes wasn't even shot.
Yeah.
This is an unfinished movie. Yeah,
they just cut it out of script. Not shooting that.
Well, because they didn't have the money. The money got taken away, so it's like, well, we can't.
That's what happened when you go into production to make a $30 million movie with a script that is line produced for $30 million, and then you take $13 million away. You lose 45 minutes.
Yes. So yeah, this movie is basically 2 acts, right? There isn't even like a third.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure that there's a first or second act either.
Well, the first act is, you're probably right. But the idea, the premise of this movie is that the world cannot agree on what to do with nuclear arms. And the president goes on television and is like, we have no choice but to fucking murder everybody. That's not what he says. But
well, I wish he had.
Yeah, he's like, we have to win this nuclear race.
Yes.
And some kid
with a hot teacher.
Jason wants to talk about that.
I really like this kid's teacher. She was sexy. She's kind of just a little bit like a mom with her mom jeans, but she's very good to look at. And she notices the one little boy in class who's not saying anything.
He's despondent.
He's very despondent. And he says, I know who can fix this. It's Superman.
And all the kids are like, oh, get the fuck out of here, you dumb piece of shit, and throw their stuff at him.
That was real.
I wish. That's what would have happened if I would have said that.
And that's when this movie becomes Amazing Grace and Chuck. The same year, where that little kid decides to quit playing Little League until the world gets rid of nuclear weapons. And the best NBA basketball player in the world, Amazing Grace is his nickname, I don't know his real name, decides I'm going to quit playing basketball too in solidarity with this kid until Gregory Peck, the president of the United States, gets rid of all nuclear weapons. And that was another movie.
Yeah, that movie sounds stupid too.
But your description of it was Oscar-worthy compared to the Superman 4.
I can always leap low bars in a single bound.
So at first I thought that kid was going to be Lana Lang's son, which would have been a cool kind of continuation where he's like, I have an inline with Superman. And it almost kind of looked like him to me. So I thought that, because I'll be honest, I blacked this movie out after seeing it.
You've already written a better movie, Chuck.
The first, I know. See, that's what I do in my head. I write good movies. Never on paper though. But he's like, Superman, you gotta stop this shit. You gotta do something about it.
What does Superman say to the kid?
Yeah, what does he say, Jeff?
According to the headlines,
he tells him to drop dead.
So here's the thing, though. That's either a scene that's not filmed, where Superman's like, I'm not going to get involved because the elders of Krypton said not to get involved, or 2, he just doesn't respond, and then Lacey and I want to keep calling the guy Paul Warfield, but that's not him.
David Warfield?
Whatever. Donald Trump says, we got to run this anyway.
It's David, yes.
Okay. And so he says, we got to run this anyway. and then Superman reads it and says, well, I've got to fix this. This is fake news. I've got to go and show up at the UN and tell everybody I'm going to take control of their nuclear. I've got problems.
Before that, though, he does that bullshit to Lois Lane again.
Yes, he just throws her off the fucking...
This pisses me off so much. So yes. Oh my God, this makes me angry. He goes to visit Lois because he's conflicted.
Lois, he is watching the news. They're supposed to go to the, I don't know, the World Press Awards or something. And Lois Lane shows up. It's like,
it's a Pulitzer. No, maybe that's the next movie. Never mind.
You're supposed to meet me at 6 p.m. in the lobby of the Daily Planet. What happened? And he's like, they're come outside.
I want to show you something.
Go ahead, Jason.
But he goes. He shows himself. Exposes Clark as Superman in front of her. She immediately remembers then everything that happened in Superman 2. Then he talks it out with Lois, uses her as his personal counselor, and then decides what decision to make about his quandary, and then makes her fucking forget everything again. He basically mentally raped Lois.
Yep.
And it's bullshit. And it's so something that Canon Films would write and not even realize how bullshit it is.
Yep.
Well, there's two other things that bother me in this too.
I was going to say, don't defend it, Jeff. Don't defend it. But if it's something that bothers you, please
keep piling
go ahead.
on because it deserves it.
So first of all, he takes her hand as Clark Kent with her, walks off the balcony of his apartment.
Terrible.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So she thinks she's going to die.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, haha, I'm Superman.
Yeah, he just committed like suicide murder.
Right.
Essentially.
So then he flies off. And then they go from now again, geography's fucked up here.
And she has definitely pooped all over the place.
She has shit her panties everywhere.
Terminal velocity, her poop and her are traveling at the same rate next to each other.
She should have had an inner monologue in this one, like, "Oh, I just shit myself. Can you see me?
Oh God, that would be funny.
See me?
If we're gonna make a parody.
Can you smell? Then yes. Can you smell my poop?
Can you smell my poop, pooper man?
I'll be there. Run to me, fly to me, Superman.
So then
smell that shit.
Yeah. So they go from Metropolis to San Francisco in moments. That alone would kill her.
She's dead.
She can't travel faster than the speed of light. Then they go to Alaska, where Superman decides, "Ha-ha, I'm going to let go of you. Isn't this a fun thing we do?" And then he catches her. She's pooped twice now.
Yeah.
And then he takes her home, and then wipes her.
It makes her forget everything.
And then he goes to the UN, and he says, effective immediately, I'm going to steal shit and throw it into space.
Into a giant space net.
Because I am the man of stealing shit.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing that doesn't make any sense, right? I would almost expect him to do that, to actually go and steal all the missiles and throw them in the sun and say, fuck you all. You can't figure this shit out. I'm just going to take them and get rid of them. But that's not what happens. He still actually coordinates efforts among the world's superpowers to launch them into space, collect them, and throw them into the sun.
I have a question.
What?
I have a question. How are those missiles getting to space? They're not designed to go into space.
I have a bigger question.
Well, no. I've got a huge question.
If they are all willing to do that, why are they not all willing to just dismantle all of their missiles in the first place?
Now, see, you're thinking too much into this.
Yes.
It makes more sense. If Superman is going to interfere, which Superman always interferes, so this quandary over whether or not he should interfere from all these other Kryptonians that you've never met.
That were kind of evil.
Yeah. Well, at the very least,
cackled at him.
At the very least, they were idiots because they didn't believe Jor-El in the first place.
What did they keep saying to him? Betrayed! Betrayed! Oh my God. But no, if this movie made any sense at all, and Superman wanted to go off script, he would just steal all of them. To say, fuck. Yeah, he would actually do what you said, Chuck, and Man of Steel them.
Yeah.
Well, he says
Thank you.
The reason why they say betrayed is that the reason why the council says that he betrays them is that if Superman was to interfere and to take away these things, it would teach the humans to count on him to solve their problems when he can't, and therefore setting them up to be betrayed by Superman.
Yeah, but that was stupid.
Point. It's stupid.
And since when did the Kryptonian Council have a conversation via crystals with Kal-El on Earth?
It was Tuesday.
They recorded some Zoom meetings.
Yeah. It was that one Tuesday.
Just a dumb fuckery all around.
So yeah, he steals all the shit and throws it in space, which is like Superman's MO now. Every movie he throws missiles into space.
I like that he's got them all in a big net.
Yeah,
and swings them around.
Hilarious.
You know?
He should have used his
comically large net.
He should have used.
Yeah, who put that net together? Seriously.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably. Yeah, Chinese children.
Probably.
Hey kids, you need a job.
Lots of sweatshop labor made nuclear disarmament possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, Superman gets on a building, he's like, this is a job for Chinese kids here.
Yeah. And the next thing we need to do is stop sweatshops in China.
Then he throws all the kids in this
There's an order of operations to things.
He just throws the kids into space.
No
more sweatshops!
All the sweatshop owners throw the kids up into the sky and try and collect them. Puts them in a big giant kidnapping bag.
Yeah.
And then throws the bag into the sun. Oh my God. This but let's
Wait, this isn't over yet? That wasn't it? That wasn't Superman's objective? There's more?
Well, let's think about the actual thought process behind this, right?
Yeah.
So Superman, who is, I guess by default, an American citizen, goes to the United Nations and says, fuck y'all, I'm taking your shit.
Yeah, it's not even a discussion. He literally says it's effective immediately.
And everybody applauds.
Yeah.
There's not one person who says, sir, you are not a member of the United Nations. Also, you don't rule us, and you don't have any sovereign
Superman's
rights.
a fascist, dude.
Exactly.
Canon films ain't got time for conversations like that.
Everything
is black and white in a Canon film.
Well, this is more like black and brown, poop brown, because this is shit. So just taking for a second, just a moment's thought says, wait, Superman can't do this, and it's actually he is the villain of this movie. He is,
in a way, yeah,
because he is the one who says, you cannot take care of yourself, I must take care of you and that is at the very least a totalitarian authoritarian kind of way of thinking. And
he reacted to the headlines, Jeff. He didn't have thick enough skin to think that the world would think that he told a little kid to drop dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's bullshit. It's crap. Because let's face it. Even if we did end up devolving into nuclear war, he would stop it. I mean, he would make sure the missiles didn't land. So so the arms race can happen, and they can figure it out hopefully on their own, like we sort of kind of have over the last few decades. But if anything really legitimately catastrophic were on the brink of happening, I think it would be reasonable for him to save the planet at that point.
Yeah, at the very least, he would probably just move the planet.
Sure.
Because he has no qualms about moving the moon.
Well, it's also well established he can just turn back time. So,
well, that's true.
There are no stakes anymore in these movies,
I guess.
So explain to me, because I don't get anything. Just explain it to me. The whole movie. No, for real. For real. When Lex Luthor makes the plan.
The whole plan is to destroy Superman.
But no, I know.
Destroy Superman.
But he. What is this missile that they're testing? Apparently,
there's another one. I think there's another nuke somehow.
Right. So Superman
and he commandeers the launch of that nuke.
But they were going to cancel it for weather. Superman's just going to catch it anyways. I didn't get any of what was happening.
Don't try to.
Okay. Don't worry about that.
It's like a web of madness trying to
to
navigate all the plot holes in this movie.
Yeah. Did I skip anything, or can we go to that? He puts all this stuff in the box.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a little bit of what looks like silly putty.
My favorite moment of comedy in this movie is when Lenny has to give Lex clothes and he gives him his own clothes to wear, and Gene Hackman is dressed like fucking I don't know what for like the 80s threw up all over Gene Hackman, and it's pretty funny.
Yes.
Like
I thought that was just their look.
Well, he's later just more like Lex later,
right.
But I think it was because, and there's maybe a cut scene there too, again, where he's all of a sudden dressed like Lenny, and my brain was able to put that joke together, whereas like, oh, Lenny probably had to lend him some clothes, and it's fucking hilarious because somebody in wardrobe had to convince Gene Hackman to put these clothes on.
Yep. I didn't put that together, but I honestly, at this point, I didn't care what the hell was happening. I really didn't like.
Oh, it's really hard to stay engaged with this movie.
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah. So let's disseminate all the little plot lines. So you got the getting rid of the nukes. All right, that's basically Act 1. Act 2 is Superman and Clark Kent have a double date. I hate this scene. I hate this scene so fucking much. I hate this scene so fucking much. Well, we'll come back to it because okay, we'll come back to that. And then the other story.
Do we have to? Do we have to come back to it?
No, we have to, because Chuck gets to be mad at this movie. I want to get mad at this movie. Jason, you've been mad at the mental rape. So, okay, and then the third act is destroy Superman with Nuclear Man. Does that sound about right, Chuck? Anyway. So what we have now is, so in the first part, that's where we have Superman eventually saying, okay, we're going to get rid of all the nukes. That ends up taking up a lot of time. It's more or less half of the movie. It feels like half the movie. I don't think it is. There are a lot of things in this movie that feels like it takes forever, but I don't think it actually does, because it's not a very long it's not a very long movie. So then we get to this whole other part in which Lacey Warfield has fallen for Clark, and I don't really fully understand this, but she is kind of fallen in love with Clark, and I don't know if it's because he is different. Jason, what do you put that up to? Why does Rich Girl like Clark? Is it just because he is opposite of her?
I think it's probably in the minds of the writers. It's two things. It's to give her some humanity so that you like her, right? Oh, she likes the nerdy version of Superman. That's endearing, right? And
Okay.
it is. That actually is endearing. And then also because plot things have to happen.
Okay, so okay, I guess. But now she becomes a much bigger character than she should.
That is true. She really does not have any business being much of a character at all in this movie. They don't give her really anything all that meaningful to do other than kind of be a foil to her father, who wants to go for sensationalism, and she wants the paper to be more classic journalism.
Right. Okay. But no, she doesn't want that at first, though.
She doesn't, but I think she also wants to be respected professionally, and she learns from real journalistic professionals how a newspaper should be run.
Okay. Okay, fair enough.
I'm giving this movie a lot more credit, but that in my mind is kind of how I interpret her character.
Okay. Okay. All right. So,
are we still talking about the scene that makes you angry?
Well, no, we haven't even gotten there yet. So, okay. So, all right. So she. Okay. So she starts going to. So she goes to the. She goes to the weightlifting gym. To the gym. To that place.
Yeah, we're jumping all around the time.
Yeah, we
Who
are.
cares?
Well, but this movie is horseshit. So so she goes there, and she is just wanting to spend time with Clark. And of course, Clark is Superman, so like he has to play off that he can't do weights good or whatever. And
I know exercise good.
Yeah. But then there's the guy who's like your typical like shit-headed, not even all that beefcakey, but like you even lift bro. But
yeah, right.
He's very effeminate.
Yeah.
I noticed.
Yeah.
Like he's almost just more of a bitch than like a dickhead. But you
also get the sense that he's got a thing for Hemingway.
Well, of course he does, because
he really likes For Whom the Bell Tolls.
Yes, and Farewell to Arms. Yeah, sure. So he is like trying to like, hey lady, drop the zero and get with the hero. Drop the guy who is a lot taller than me.
You just quoted a worse movie in the episode for this movie. Although maybe Cool as Ice, it would be debatable if that movie is worse than this one.
Do you want to do it someday? We got it. I got it. We can do
it. Maybe. Let's table that discussion.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So then he, God.
So they set up a double date or something. Like right. Lois Lane is going to interview Superman
about the nuclear weapons.
Right. And
Lacey
Clark going to kind of go on a date with Lacey Warfield.
But it's all going to be at Lois's, where she's cooking.
She's making a chicken.
No, duck.
It's a duck. That's a duck. You're right.
So when did Lois Lane become
friends with Lacey?
Well, no. When did Lois Lane become like a little housemaker?
Yeah, and I don't actually think it's supposed to be a date either, because Lacey makes the comment to Lois that she likes Clark, and Lois is kind of surprised by that. But then Lois actually tries to help Clark when he shows up and says, "Notice the dress. She's really
it's like
she really would like it if you did that." And then Clark, kind of in a very Clark way,
oh hey, neato dress. Yeah. Or whatever. And then Lois Lane like rolls her eyes, which is fine.
Yeah. But Lois is actually trying to kind of do Clark a solid there.
Yeah, but like also like she's like Lacey is like in evening wear.
Yeah, and
I don't know
what's going on.
But I know what's going on is pissing me off, because what does this mean when Superman and Clark Kent go on a double date? What's that mean?
It means
Shenanigans.
madcap comedy.
Yeah, and so it's like there has to be things that happen that causes one to go away and for the other to come back and then for that one to go away. And it's like at this point, both of those broads need to say, this guy's a flake. Fuck off. And then let's just go and scissor each other in the bedroom. Would have made for a better movie. Anyway, so Nuclear Man happens.
He happens.
And
he gets
birthed by the sun. Now, Jason, you asked a funny question because I think this movie was causing your brain cells to die. You said
probably true.
You said, wouldn't all those nuclear weapons really fuck up the sun?
I did.
Not really.
I wasn't really thinking about the scale of the sun. Yeah. I still wonder. I mean, that's a lot of nuclear weapons. I don't know. I didn't do the math on that, but I don't think it would have a non-effect.
No, it would have probably an absolute
non-effect.
An absolute non-effect, because the sun. Okay, maybe, like maybe it was a bad day for Mercury. But that's maybe. I mean, like the sun is so large. It's so big. It's so big, and those missiles are so small next to it.
That's true. How many? Of them. I'm going to Google right now. How many Earths fit in? Oh my God!
It's like
Google. Google is magic. That machine that Gus Gorman created. Truly is amazing because I wrote in how many Earths, and Google finished my sentence and said can fit in the sun.
And it's a bunch.
1 million Earths.
Yeah. So how many nuclear weapons can fit in the Earth? Probably like 1 million.
Well, so, I don't think it would take too many to destroy the Earth.
Not destroy it, but
I bet you
fit in it.
I would say that 10 nuclear weapons could destroy the Earth. Which means you would need...
I think like that's low.
I don't think that would destroy the Earth. I think that would probably kill all life.
Yeah, but like to actually blow up the Earth, it would take more than that, I would think.
Yeah.
But also the sun is obviously a much different composition. It's
a supernova, man.
Right. I mean, there isn't really anything... If you think about the fallout of a nuclear weapon, it's to destroy life. There is no life on the sun. You're converting, energy essentially into, and the nuclear radiation of that converted energy is what is destroying everything in its wake. And the sun is pretty much the embodiment of that already.
Right.
So it's just kind of absorbing. It's just absorbing all of that into what it already is.
The sun is already like a super nuclear fusion machine.
Yeah.
So it's just absorbing. It would instantly vaporize it into itself.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. It would vaporize all of that before it even landed.
Yeah. I mean, again.
Where's Neil deGrasse Tyson to talk about this? We need to get him on the show.
Done. I just emailed him, and he said, "Nope."
Yeah, because I'm
talking about what movie?
He probably loves the science of Superman 4. It's probably what started him on his life path.
I'm sure.
I'm guessing he would ruin all of the fun of Superman.
Just in general, like the character. Yeah.
This movie is bad, guys. So what happens now? A nuclear man comes back, and he's got the kitten's got claws. I mean, he's got those Lee press-on nails that are like perfect, and they cause nuclear sickness. They fight. They
make Superman turn into an old man. Did you already discuss that part while I pretended my internet went out so I didn't have to talk about this movie?
I figured that's what might have happened. I was still stuck on why does Lacey like Clark, but that's whatever.
What about next week? What are we talking?
So Nuclear Man comes home, and he has Lex Luthor's voice. I mean, I guess that's kind of neat, right?
I didn't realize that, honestly. I was going to say that earlier, that I don't think when I saw this originally or any other time did I know that was Gene Hackman doing his voice.
Yeah. And so he wants to kill Superman, and he's got a real bad weakness. He's about as good as a 1987 solar powered calculator. The moment light is taken away from him, he powers down. and
that has varying degrees of
bullshititude.
Right, because sometimes it's like he'll walk into a shadow and he's got no powers. But I'm sure when you're flying through the earth, you're going to fly into shadows, And so
you're going to at least cross the Terminator at some point when you're fighting from Metropolis all the way to the Great Wall of China.
Right.
What is time?
Yes.
What is time? What is life in this? Now that we watch this movie.
I'm telling you,
this movie has no interest in making any sense, and it's not in a fun way.
You know my favorite part about the Great Wall of China scene is when Superman fixes it by just glaring at it. He just looks at it, and it goes, and it fixes it.
That superpower was established in Superman, the Adventures of Superman.
Action Comics number 5.
I was gonna say, yeah, one of those.
So he scratches Superman with them Lee press-on nails, and Superman gets sick and old, and they think that he's dead. No, they don't think he's dead. Warfield publication. I just burned. I don't know what's going on. I think this movie almost made me puke. So Warfield Publications is what they turned the Daily Planet into, and they're going to run a piece called "Superman is Dead" because his cape is on the Statue of Liberty, and they have the cape because Superman's missing. And Lois is like, I don't like this. I quit. Give me that cape. I'm going to wrap it up in some brown paper, and I'm going to tie it up and send it to Superman. I'm going to take it to Clark Kent because he knows Superman. And Clark Kent's sick, and he's got one more green crystal.
Magically, that just shows up in this movie.
It shows up at the farm where he took that first one. But anyway, it's the last bit of Krypton, and he comes back and he decides to fight Nuclear Man, and Nuclear Man makes a SWAT team van spin and causes a guy to spin out of it, and then he wants to steal Lacey Warfield for some reason and take her to space.
Superman knows this because of that weird. Yeah, the end.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard you guys in my time on the show or not on the show just completely
like 100%
de-invest yourselves from an episode.
Well, Superman 4. I mean,
when Nuclear Man kidnaps Lacey Warfield and takes her into space, I said out loud, Hemingway's in space.
Making your own fun.
Yeah. That's all you could do at that point.
Yeah, she's in legit space and seeming to breathe just fine.
Oh yeah, she has no problems.
Yeah,
at all.
By the way, isn't Nuclear Man warm? Also, didn't they establish that? So she should be like a charred corpse.
Yeah.
Does he give off radioactive?
Well, he lights that fucking.
Is he radioactive himself?
Well, so, I would have to think so.
Did he give Lex Luthor cancer just by being in the same room with him?
This movie gave Lex Luthor cancer.
Yeah.
This movie gave me cancer.
Yeah.
Cancer jokes never going out of style.
Never.
So
I will never cure it.
Yeah, Superman. Now, okay, dropping nuclear weapons into the sun probably wouldn't do anything, but Superman, to defeat Nuclear Man, he has to drop him into a nuclear reactor where he'll be absorbed. That is 3 Mile Island.
Oh yeah, that's bad news.
Probably
that's bad news.
Yeah, that's bad.
Didn't you also say he moved the sun or the moon?
He moved the moon to depower Nuclear Man, who's flying into space with Mariel Hemingway. So he drops her. She's mega dead at this point. Moving the moon kills probably millions of people.
Oh, easily.
Like that.
The oceans alone will go absolutely haywire.
Yeah, we would be drowned.
This is
we would be drowned.
This is no more stupid than Superman reversing the Earth.
It's not. It's not any more stupid.
But you know what, though?
In a better movie, I would have forgiven all of those things.
Right. Yeah, in a better movie, Superman did turn back time by reversing the motion of the Earth.
Yeah.
I don't remember how this movie ends. How does this movie end?
Well, Nuclear Man gets in an elevator.
Taken to the moon.
Depowered, taken to the moon. And somehow, I don't even get how he escapes that, because it's not like there's any sunlight.
The sunlight goes into into the doors of
the crack.
The crack of the door of the elevator gives him enough power to come out, and they fight on the moon, which is just two grown men fighting in slow motion on a set. The blackness of space, by the way, is just curtains. You can tell. You can fucking tell it's just curtains.
They used that old Kubrick set.
Yeah, they did.
Landing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So then, I don't know. Something happens, and Superman gets thrown, and he looks like he might be defeated, and then he's not defeated. And
I think a 7-year-old wrote this movie.
Yeah.
Why doesn't Nuclear Man just scratch Superman again like he did the first one?
Well, how did he overcome that in the first place?
He had the crystal of power that his parents said had one use.
And he can only use it once. Yeah.
Yeah. So one more scratch and Superman's toast.
Yeah.
I don't understand Nuclear Man's powers. What are his powers?
He's got some bitchin' fingernails.
Yeah.
Got fingernails that give you radioactive sickness.
Mm-hmm.
Radiation sickness, that's what that's called.
He can fly.
He can fly.
He makes Lex Luthor a ventriloquist.
he dresses like David Bowie.
He has the same eyebrow fetish as I do.
Yes.
He
can make people and things spin. He has telekinesis.
Mm-hmm.
He should have killed Lenny Luthor, but didn't.
That would have been a good power.
Oh, man, you kill me, man.
Bogus.
There's no, you said it earlier, but there really isn't a worse character in the history of film.
There really isn't. It really isn't.
Even this Mark Pillow Super Nuclear Man isn't worse. And that might be like second or third worst character ever.
I don't know if I think I don't think he's that.
I wonder.
Bad. Come on, dude. He's like a WWF wrestler that got powers. Like, I guess that's cool.
I mean,
give Hulk Hogan a cape and have him like.
Oh God! I wish Hulk Hogan was in this movie.
That would have been great. Let me tell you something, brother. I'm gonna kick your ass.
I'm gonna kick your ass from here to the moon
with this 24-inch pythons of nuclear shititude.
Oh God, this movie sucks, guys. Okay,
John Cryer did not have much of a career until he made all the money on that sitcom.
Oh, 2.5 cents or whatever it's called.
He's richer than God now because of that show.
Yep.
But he did not really have that much of a career.
Well, it was probably no thanks to this fucking movie.
I mean, he made Dudes, Penelope Spears' Dudes the same year, which isn't that great.
Wasn't he supposed to be Ferris Bueller? I think he was in the running for Ferris Bueller, which
He was
probably
making this movie.
Yeah, maybe he's like, I'm going to be in Superman.
I'm going to be in Superman. Oof, bad mistake, buddy.
Yep. Well, what
I might have made that up, by the way. But.
So okay, so the way that this movie ends is Superman gets his powers back, and he says, "Hey, you nuclear guy, you're a bad guy. Let's punch it out on the moon." And they go to the moon, they fight, and he moves the moon, and he kills everybody on the planet. And then he comes back to the planet and drops Nuclear Man into a nuclear reactor, which doubly kills everybody on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And then the bank gives Perry White control over the Daily Planet, and they say, "Get the fuck out of here, Warfield." Bye. End of the series.
Yeah, and then for some reason, Margot Kidder thinks she had something to do with it, and she's like, "We did it!" and high five, and it's like, you didn't even do anything.
Yeah, you
died in space, Margot.
No, Mariel Hemingway died in space.
Oh yes,
Margot Kidder,
that's right. Jesus,
Margot Kidder was at home baking a cake or something.
She was hitting the bottle.
Yep.
Or she's hitting the Coke. Whew.
Speaking of cocaine, this is something I thought about during this movie.
I think Margot Kidder and Carrie Fisher had the same dealer.
At one point, Lex Luthor has a couple of bimbos with him when he's about to meet with Porkins and the other two guys.
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure those ladies were coked out. That was my note on that scene.
Yeah.
I could have said, "Look, it's Porkins from Star Wars," but no, I was like, "Are those bimbos coked out?" Probably.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, Chuck, about Ferris Bueller, other actors who were considered for Ferris Bueller were Jim Carrey, John Cusack, Tom Cruise, and Michael J. Fox.
Oh, no John Cryer.
No John Cryer. But interestingly enough, John Cryer did replace Matthew Broderick on a couple Broadway plays.
Oh, okay.
He was understudy for Broderick on Brighton Beach Memoirs. And then Memoirs, thank you, and took over for him in the second run. And he replaced Matthew Broderick on another Broadway play called Torch Song Trilogy.
Oh, yeah.
So I would imagine they were most definitely auditioning for the same parts.
Yeah.
Where do you think that he wished that Matthew Broderick replaced him on Superman 4?
Yes.
I would like to talk to John Cryer and ask him only questions about Superman 4.
Let's get him on the show.
I'm sure he would love that. Yeah, let's get him on the show. He's only got like $1 billion in the bank. I'm sure he'll want to talk to us.
Well, he's probably not making any new episodes of Supergirl right now because, well, who's making anything right now? True. We're the only people that are still going throughout the coronavirus.
Yep. The only agile business in the industry.
We're going to get John Cryer on the show, and we're going to ask him about Superman 4.
Yep.
I'm going to do that before this episode airs. So now what you're listening to right now in this episode is our interview with John Cryer. Insert, edit, Jeff.
Hey, guys, I'm John Cryer. How's it going?
John, so thank you so much for coming on the show.
Well, gee, thanks, guys. I wasn't doing much. That's what he sounds like, right? I mean, oh my God, John Cryer's here, everybody. Oh, gee.
Thanks, John. Thanks for coming on the show. That was a great interview.
Hey, thanks, guys. Thanks for remembering who I am.
Jesus, poor John Cryer. He's going to hate us forever now.
I know, but that was a good interview. I think he had fun.
I think we had a good time. I think, you know what? He was a really good sport about me saying that I really wanted Lenny Luthor to get anally butt raped at Boys Town, where he's dropped off at the end.
Wow. Wow.
Superman dropped him off into the caring hands of a priest. What do you think is going to happen at Boys Town?
Yeah. Everything changed for Lenny that day.
Yep. Lenny later wrote a movie called Sleepers.
And it was a much better movie.
Yeah, it was.
Whoa, dudes, I just wrote this movie.
The hot dog cart kills a guy at the bottom of the stairs, and then we get raped forever.
Oh my god! One sentence plot synopsis is there. That's one of the better ones I've heard.
That was pretty good. I like it. I love it. Let's make.
You want some more of it?
Yes.
Oh man,
we got another sentence for that movie. Anyway, oh god. I'm done with Superman 4.
I'm done. That was great, guys.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great if someone came along and eradicated Superman 4 almost like it never happened?
What about also go ahead and do Superman 3 that way too?
Might as well.
Yeah,
if we're getting rid of 4, let's get rid of 3 too.
Yeah. So we went to Boys Town and we found this guy peeking in the windows and said, "Hey, Bryan Singer, please."
Oh wow.
Oh, Kevin Spacey's here too. Let's have him be Lex Luthor. Guys, I felt really good about that.
Yeah, that's
the moment it left my mouth. I'm like, this is not a mistake.
I know.
I feel really good about this.
Yep. You nailed it.
Well, that's what they said.
Yep.
Shit.
So anyway, yeah, next week Superman Returns, and it's so much better than 3 and 4. And I'm looking forward to that. Actually, we actually have real thing. We're going to be really invested in that movie. Also, by the way, fuck you, Jason, for Super September, including Superman 4.
We had to do it. There were 5 weeks in September. I'd still probably rather watch Superman 4 than that other movie
Man of Steel?
with Superman, Man of Steel. Yeah.
Or Justice League or Batman v Superman.
I would definitely rather watch it than those. Are there 3 of them with Cavill now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh God, I don't. Oof.
It's such a shame. I think I mentioned this to you guys. I actually like him.
Yeah.
As Superman.
Yeah, he's good.
I like him in general. I did not like him in that one bullshit Hellraiser movie he was in. But that whole
that was bad. That was the
dark
Hell World. Is that one? Hell World?
I guess, but that was a dark day that we spent watching those, Jason.
Ooh,
was that that was the movie I threw something at the TV?
Yeah.
I did.
Nice.
I threw something at the TV for that movie.
Yeah, it's bad.
Was it a nuclear missile?
Yes. That's why I have 4 legs.
It's a nuclear vessel.
Whistle.
He threw a nuclear vessel at the screen.
Oh geez. So Superman Returns next week. Go to like filmseizure.com and go to Facebook and the Twitters. Just search for Film Seizure. And maybe go over to Spotify and tune in and Stitcher and Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts. Fine. We're there. We're in those places. You can subscribe to us there. We get nothing for your subscription, but you get our undying love and affection.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a pretty good deal, right, guys?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even going to be weird, like how much I'm going to personally love you guys and watch you while you sleep.
Yeah, we're not going to spy on you and watch you while you're asleep and then...
Well, I am, but you guys aren't.
No, right.
It's not. I'm not even going to do it in a creepy way.
You and Superman are both going to do it.
Yes.
All right.
So, so that's the things and stuff. So, I'm done with this fucking movie. I don't ever want to watch it again. I've already written about it once. And I don't want to watch it again.
We won't then.
Okay, well, see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Anyway, I am Jeff Arbuckle.
I'm Chuck Moore.
I'm Jason Oliver, and you have been listening to Film Seizure.
Oh, thank God we're done with this one.
Superman does whatever a super can. Flies real high in the sky, does some stuff, punches guys. Watch out, here comes a Superman.